everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I've got a gardening update for you. I'll show you what we've just put in recently and what we've also been growing over the last few months. Today it's really glary out here and it's the middle of the day, so it's hot and glary, so I'll try and film it as best as I can and be able to see the screen out here as well. We definitely need to do some weeding, especially at the back of the garden beds. But over here we've got these 3 individual tomato plants. I'm not sure if they're all the same. I think we've just put in some seeds. We've bought those black containers off, I think it was eBay, and the other one, the plastic one, is just like from Bunnings. But we're really looking forward to getting a heap of tomatoes come in because we did really well with the tomatoes last time. And down here we've got our beetroot growing. It's not growing very well. I don't know whether it's the right season for it. I'm not even sure if we're going to get any out of it. They look like they haven't really developed at all. So I'm going to end up taking all these out and making some space for something else to go in there that we can use, even if it's more beans or some sort of a winter vegetable. But I like the beetroot. It did grow really well the last time we grew it, but it's just not doing very well at the moment. Okay, at the back here we've got another tomato plant. So we've got some tomato plants at the back of the garden bed as well. So as you can see, we're really determined to get our tomatoes growing, especially like with the price of them at the moment. So yeah, it's really good. So we've got them going. And also here we've got our abundance of beans. And they're just growing so well. And every couple of days we take a handful or 2 off the vine. And they are so fresh. Even my kids are grabbing them off the vine and just eating them raw, which is really good for them. And they're just beautiful. There is like some butter beans in there as well. There's been a few different types of beans just thrown in there, like seeds. And I think we got some plants from Bunnings as well, some little ones. But that was a month ago we put those little Bunnings plants in, the little seedling plants. A month ago, and look how much it's grown. So it's done so well. I'm not sure if you can see them on there. I can't really see the screen on my camera because it's so bright, but there's lots and lots of beans. And later on towards the end of the video, my husband will pick some and I'll show you how much I've got off, because a couple of days ago we already picked some more. So if you've got an area to grow beans, try and give it a go, because they grow really easily and they're so expensive at the shop, and you don't need a lot of them. You know, like I said, every couple of days, getting a handful off them. It's so beautiful and fresh. There's nothing quite like fresh beans. And there's more tomato plants at the back of the garden, but as you can see, there's some weeding that needs to be done there. It's very hard to get like the whippersnipper in there without, damaging the fence and the garden bed. So here we've got our baby spinach. I'm not sure if it's baby. No, it's not baby spinach. It's the it could be the Ford hook one. But yeah, that's our spinach there, and it's grown really well. So I'm going to start picking that soon. I will probably give it a week or so beforehand. But yeah, spinach sometimes grows, sometimes it doesn't. You have to be lucky, I think. I've had it not grow on me. And here we've got our capsicums. Oh, this is great. These were grown from a seed, and they have been so good. They're only like miniature capsicums. I'll try and show you some here. So they don't grow too much bigger, like they'll grow a little bit bigger than that, but they're not a huge capsicum, and they're enough. A couple of capsicums is enough for us. See, that's one there. They're just like a little bit bigger than that they get, and they're so beautiful. And this is, again, probably every couple of times a week we grab a few off this vine and we just put them in the fridge and we make sauces out of them, or we chop them up with our salad. So it's doing really well, and we've got lots off it, and it's definitely something that I would just continue to grow, because once again, capsicums are another thing at the shops that are just like gold at the moment. And here's the chili bush. I'm going to get Derek to pick these chilies off today, and we're going to make like a relish out of it. Now these are quite hot, and I would like to just get some chilies that are not hot chilies, so they can sort of work like a capsicum as well, so the kids can eat them. But these ones are, and they're not too hot, but they're hot enough. And this little plant here I picked up from a nursery. It was getting thrown out for $1, probably about 3 or 4 months ago, and I didn't know if it was going to work or not, but I didn't care, so it was in the reduce bin, and I've been getting capsicums off it, and look at it, they're growing, and I can't believe it. So you never ever know. There's a little lady beetle that I found. You never know what they're throwing out in those clearance bins. Sometimes the plants work and sometimes they don't. I'm just showing my son the lady beetle, and I think it's flown away on him anyway. But over here, I'll just go over and show you our ginger. If you want to have a look at the ginger short, it's I can always link it below. But I did a ginger short not long ago. My husband got the ginger out. We were really excited to see how much ginger was in there because we didn't know, but we got lots out of it, abundance of ginger, and we put lots more back. So here's my shallots. They're the shallots I just get from the shop. I haven't put any in for months, but they're growing really, really well. We just cut the base off and we just put them in so they just reproduce. And I love having shallots in the garden. You've always got a supply of onions. I've also got some more tomato plants in there. It's a bit of a mess in here. I've got the marigold, and this is the celery. It's just grown crazy, and that was grown from just the base of the celery as well from the shops. And I just love having like some shallots in the garden, some celery for soups, you know, capsicums. I could just make a soup out of everything I've got in this garden, but I'll just try and show you underneath here. As you can see, like it's not a really thick celery, I've noticed. It's more like the thinner type, but it doesn't matter because it's just so expensive, and you just pick a few stems of it and just pick what you need. I don't ever store it in the fridge. I just pick it and then cook it straight away, so it's completely fresh. There's no need for me to pick it and put it in the fridge because then I'll just end up wasting it. And over here, I think I've got like a pumpkin growing. We put some dirt in from the nursery, and there's been like pumpkin seeds in there, and they seem to just grow everywhere. Pretty sure that's pumpkin. And under there's more celery. This celery here is a lot thicker. Once again, it was celery that I put the base in from the shops, but it's a little bit thicker. But it's just brilliant just having celery growing everywhere like this. I love it. And also this is our big basil tree. It's sort of going to seed a bit, but the thing with the seeds are they just drop and it just reproduces. So I just keep on getting, you know, more basil come up, but I really, really would like to get some oregano. I love oregano. And you can always pick the seeds and you dry them in like a brown paper bag, but see that they're just like going to seed, and they just basically they drop and they just come up again. So basil is a really excellent thing to grow if you really love lots of basil and herbs. And over here I do have my strawberries growing, which I'm thinking we're going to end up taking out. So there they are there. They've been quite good. We haven't got a great deal of them, but there's been like, you know, here and there we've been able to pick a few and eat them, but it sort of needs to go, I think. There's our parsley, always growing well, the parsley. Once again, a great thing to have for just vegetable soup. But I'll show you here. See, there's little strawberries growing there, and they do look like some of them are coming up, but there's just not enough, so I'm going to use that pot for something else. My mint is sort of dying off because my husband has put it in the sun, and it just always has to be in the shade, I find, and damp sort of area for mint to grow well. So we're just going to see. I'll probably have to buy some more, but I'm trying to put it into the shade as much as possible. And this is our little orange tree. It's growing quite well. I just don't think it's in the right place. We do have a lot of palm trees above it, and I'm not really happy about where it's at. But it's still vibrant and it's growing really well. It's going to be a long time till we'll see any oranges on that. And while I'm doing the video, my husband's putting up the big slip and slide for the kids, and I'll show you what that's like in a minute. There's my frangipani. I'm sure that's going to die off soon when winter comes. I showed you ages ago my mum was growing some just from some little seeds that she dried out. This is the passion fruit now grown from those little seeds, and it's going really, really well. We did have a passion fruit vine along this fence beforehand, and I'm not sure what had happened with it. We were getting heaps of passion fruit, then it just sort of went like, I don't know, it just died off. So we've got 2 passion fruit growing along there, but I'm not sure it's a great idea because we're going to be removing this fence soon. And this is basically all the trees that we've got now out the front. And in my last grocery Aldi haul, I bought a little mandarin tree. So my husband's just put this in now. And we've got the 2 other lemon trees, and the rest are just conifer trees. So yeah, and we're getting lemons off them. They're just not getting yellow. If anyone's got any tips to why my lemons aren't turning yellow, I'm not sure why. They're just green, but they're so big and full of juice, and we still use them, but they're still not like really yellow like a lemon should be, and they are full of juice. That they are exactly what they look like, and we just get so many off it, but we just can't get it to the point where they look like a yellow lemon. And even this one here is the same, even though they're 2 different types of lemons. Yeah, so my husband sort of pruned that back a bit, so, just to help it. And this is the mandarin tree that we got the other day from Aldi, and I like the size of it. I think it's going to grow really well there. These trees along here grow really well. I think it's because the water, like there's water underneath there, or a good supply of it from where it runs. I'm not sure, but it just seems to be the best spot in the garden there for trees and lemon trees and things like that. So I'll walk around now and show you the slide that we've got going over here. So the garden's pretty good. We've put some shade sails up, as you can see, because just to cool it down a bit there, and we do need to pick up some more shade sails. I was actually really amazed that anything even grew here this summer, because it was such a hot summer, and it still is really hot. And I'm going to be really interested to see how it grows over winter. So I'm going to walk over to the slide now, and there it is there. It's just basically you plug it in and it self-inflates, which is so easy. We absolutely love this slide. This is what the kids got for Christmas, and we have had so much use out of it. It's been amazing. So I'm just going to walk over here and fix it. That's just that's the blower, and it's just kinking here, so I'm just going to make it go straight. So basically you just plug it in, and it will just self-inflate, which is really good. And then you put the hose in and it will just work and fill up. We love it so much. Honestly, the amount of fun times my kids have had on it since Christmas, it's been amazing. So we've brought it back out again, and the kids are going to have a go on it. So they just climb up here. I find it quite safe. We're always watching them and supervising them, because my boys pretty much can't be trusted, because they, as all kids do, they do silly things and they can easily get hurt. I don't particularly like when they climb. My youngest one climbs up. I'm worried he's going to fall backwards, so I'm always sort of standing around and watching him. But they go up there, and there's like a shower up there that, wets all the slide, and the pool fills up. And it's an excellent sized pool for the whole family to sit in and relax. I have been on the slide a few times, I have to admit. It was fun. I did enjoy it. But yeah, I find this an excellent outdoor activity thing for the kids over the summer period. They've got the pool and they've got the slide, and it makes them tired and exhausts them for a little while. So, thank you very much, Santa. It was a really good gift. The kids absolutely love it, and I'm pretty sure we'll get it probably another month out of it before we've got to pack it up for winter. So there's my compost bin. It's going strong still, and I have a little compost bin under my sink that I fill up and then I take outside. And then whenever we turn over the garden beds, put new dirt in, then we'll use the compost bin. So it works really well. And there's my dog there. He's probably waiting to get on the slide. He went on the slide by mistake one day, and I couldn't believe it. He ran up the slide and then went back down. So I'm lucky he didn't bust it. So I thought I'd show you up here. This is my palm trees. I just want to show you how big they are. They're magnificent. My husband's got a huge job with taking these palm fronds to the tip all the time. We do have lots of them, but we just can't bring ourselves to cut them down, the trees. They're just so beautiful. It's a really special spot here, I find. I just love this part of the garden. It's relaxing, and I love these little trees as well, because they don't grow too much bigger than that. But definitely we have a lot of palm trees, probably more than anyone in our street. And here's my husband just picking some of these chilies now, and he's going to make like a relish with it. I'm not sure how it's going to go, and if anything, it's going to be a really hot relish or sauce. So we just don't know what else to do with the chilies, so we just want to take them off. So there we are. There's lots of chilies there, and they will just keep on reproducing. Chilies just do that. But yeah, I would like to get something that I can put in the garden that's not a really hot chili and still use as like a capsicum at the same time, or like a pepper. So so that's the chilies, and we're going to go and pick some beans now and see how many we get off for dinner tonight. So there we go. We've picked as many as we can off there. As you can see, the yellow ones, they're the butter beans, so they're a different type of bean. But yeah, beautiful, and there's heaps there just for a family of 4, so we're going to have that. So this is a perfect amount just for dinner for the 4 of us. It's so beautiful. They're so fresh, and I just like eating them raw off the vine like the kids do. It just tastes so different to the ones you get at the store. But yeah, so that's pretty much what we've got off our garden. Probably another few days' time we'll have another abundance of it as well. So Derek's going to attempt making a chili relish. He's made lots of sauces before, but I really felt like a relish this time. So he's got all the chilies and he's going to chop them up, and he's putting seeds in and all. Everything's just going to go in, I think. So I'm just going to film him doing it. So over here he's got an onion, and he's put some harissa paste in. that I had in the fridge, and we've got a couple of capsicums from our garden as well. Now I'm pretty sure here he's put some water in there. It looks like there's maybe 2 onions in there. And I've picked up this olive oil by mistake. I bought it online. I thought I'd bought something else, but I bought the garlic one, and it's really, really nice. I'd buy it again. So that's what he's frying the onion in, and the capsicum and the chili. So he's put the can of tomatoes in there to simmer away now, and he's got some white sugar, and that will be going in soon after this simmers for a little while, I'd say. So after about a half an hour, he's got it down to here, and he's blended it up. That's why it looks like this. He's put some balsamic vinegar in there, and he's mixing that in now, but he's definitely just used that little whizzer we've got, just to blend it all up to make a really nice sauce out of it. And as you can see, it's really starting to look like a chili sauce now. He's going to put some sugar in. As you can see, probably around about a half a cup of sugar, or maybe a little bit more he's putting in there. And he will just put that on low and simmer that now for probably another half an hour. The longer you would leave this on, the better, I would say. But this is like late in the afternoon, coming into evening time, so we weren't going to keep it on for hours because we still had to cool it down. And just another random ingredient, I thought we'd just add in a tablespoon of jam just to maybe like set it a little bit. So we've got some of this Rose's jam here. I think this is just raspberry jam. And because we wanted to make like a relish, I wanted it to be a little bit more thicker than just a chili sauce. So I thought maybe the jam might have an impact on setting it a little bit. So we're just going to stir that in now, and I'll show you a couple of the jars that we've made up. So it's the next day now, and we ended up getting like 3 containers out of here, 2 bottles and a big container of this relish. And yeah, it's thickened up. It's really delicious. I'm going to show you what it looks like on a spoon in a minute. It definitely did work, I think, putting a little bit of jam in there to make it thicker. But yeah, we tried it last night for dinner. So there it is there. And it's definitely like a relish consistency, just like I wanted. It is hot, but it's not like overly burn your mouth hot, but it is hot. Like I wouldn't have too much of it. But we tried it last night with chicken balls, and it was really nice. So yeah, it's really good just to be able to get all those chilies out of our garden and be able to make up something like a sauce or a relish or anything like that, so you don't waste them and so the birds don't eat the chilies, because that's usually what happens. But definitely is really nice. Even my oldest boy likes chili, and he has a little bit on the side with his food sometimes, because he just loves the taste of it. These are really nice chili. I'm not sure what type of chili they were. They're not bird's eye because they're not that hot. But yeah, I definitely want to put in some peppers that aren't too hot next time, just so I can use it as a capsicum as well. But thanks everyone for watching today. I hope you really enjoyed today's garden update, and I'll see you soon for my next videos. Thanks everyone.